more. DIY, we're going to be flushing the coolant and refilling on a 2003 Ford F150. I'm going to be cross-referencing 3 different sources to make sure I know what I'm doing. First is the Chilton's manual for this model of Ford. Second is the manual for this truck, which you can tell I had to print mine out because the previous owner lost my man. And the third thing is just other videos on YouTube. So let's get started. First thing we're going to do is open the reservoir cap. And remember, never open this when the engine's hot or steam will come out and burn you. But we haven't driven in a while, so we're good to go. Pull this off, and that's going to allow air to come in this way. Some people will tell you to take this chance to pull the whole reservoir out and clean it, but that involves taking the air cleaner off and unbolting the thing, and I'm just not really concerned with that today. Okay, so one of the things you're going to want to buy before you start all this is a 3/8 inch diameter hose.
Up your nose with a rubber hose.
So I actually had some of this left over because this is the same diameter that you use to replace any vacuum hoses in the truck, and I just had to do one of those, so I actually have some leftover hose that's going to fit perfectly on this little drain pipe right there. So we're going to get under there and put this on just so we can guide where it drains out into a bucket. Find that drain, you come over here to the passenger side. Right up under here. Now there's that plastic wheel well. It's going to be kind of in your way, but that's the little pipe right there. We're going to slide this hose over. Slide it on there like that, and then we can point this into a bucket. Okay, you're going to want a much bigger bucket than I have, but
I think I need a bigger bucket.
this is all I have right now. Now to open it up to start draining, just open this valve. You might want pliers, but I'm somewhat able to turn it with my fingers. It does have to come out a bit. Come out a little more. It's supposed to just come out that hose, but it's actually coming out of the heater too. Oh well. We're just going to let that drain until it's on. Alright, to get all of the coolant drained out, you're going to want to take the engine block drain plug out, and that on the 2003 Ford is a hex head. You're going to need a hex head bit, and then you're also going to really want a breaker bar because that thing's probably going to be really tight. And I've had to adapt down from like a 1/2 inch drive all the way down to get this socket on the hex head that's going to slide in there. Okay, so we're under the vehicle. We're looking toward passenger side right now. My head is over by driver's side tire. And if you turn up like this is your oil pan. And then so right up past there, right above the oil pan, there's a plug, probably some kind of sensor. Just move that out of your way. And then we have the hex head that's kind of stuck in there right now, but I'm going to put my wrench on that. Just unscrew this plug. That thing broke loose. There's going to be a lot coming out. There's just no way to avoid it splashing all over the place. Got some in my face. Hopefully that's not going to kill me. Okay, so now we're going to flush out the system. And there's a couple ways to do this. You can put your hose into the overflow tank and flush out that way, or if you already took the overflow tank off, you can flush it through the hose that connects under there. But the way I did it is I bought a flush kit, and this is kind of how you do that. The flush kit comes with this T, so like this is the heater hose, and that was the best place for me to do it. I already had a leak, and so I had to cut it here. But so you cut the hose, slide the T in, put these hose clamps on either side good and tight, and so now you have a cap that you can remove from which to attach your garden hose to flush. The kit comes with this female to female end, so we can put that. Black goes on the system, yellow goes to your garden hose, and you could just hook your garden hose straight up to this, but then you have to run all the way over to the faucet to turn it on and off. So I'm going to first attach it to here, so now I have an on and off switch right here to control it from. Alright, we're just going to turn it on right there, and you're just going to run that until the water runs clear out of all of your drain areas. Now the radiator flush kit also comes with a backflow tube that you put down in here. That's to help angle water coming out this way. When I flushed mine, no water came up into the reservoir. I'm not totally sure why, so I'm going to go ahead and stick the garden hose down in there just so we can get it washed out from here too. Okay, so before you take the hose off, keep it running. Go ahead and start up the vehicle, make sure nothing is in the way of the engine. Start up the vehicle while we have water running through it. And I think after the engine gets hot, it should back flush out of the overflow tube this way. Alright, our water looks pretty clean coming out the bottom, so I shut off the water here. And then I'm going to unscrew our contraption there, put the cap back on. So now we can close this. I really think we can just finger tighten that and then pull our hose off. Before we reinstall the drain plug, when they put it in last time, they put Threadlocker on there. We want to try to get the old Threadlocker off. And then we're going to put on some new Threadlocker. Just hit it with a wire brush. I don't know how well you can really get that thing clean. Okay, so we're just going to apply a bead all the way around. Now, as we go put it in the engine, you're going to want to finger tighten it first to make sure you don't cross threads. Okay, once we got that finger tightened, we're ready to crank that down. Once you have everything tight and all the caps back on, we're ready to start putting in antifreeze through the expansion chain. So fill it up until it says full over here. And you're probably wondering how much coolant to get. This is from the F150's manual. So for the 5.4 liter V8 engine, it says 22.6 liters or 23.9 quarts. I did the math. That comes out to be 5.97 gallons. I just now put in 1.5 gallons and we're already at the cold fill. Now we need to go start the engine with the cap still off. Turn your heater all the way up and we're gonna run the engine until it gets hot. So the goal of running that was to get that temperature up so that the thermostat will kick on and start sucking coolant through the engine. So it's going to fill up a lot of that reservoir in there, and you can help bring it through by squeezing the hose here, and that'll create a little vacuum to suck it out of here. Mine didn't go down very much, and I feel like it didn't get very hot. So really at this point, you're just going to keep making sure you're full. So at this point, I'm going to make sure to fill it back up to the cold fill line. Okay, once the vehicle is at operating temperature, we can shut it off.
Save money, learn stuff, and do it yourself.
Yep, it's down on the floor. Getting her done. Okay, so we're just going to apply a bead all the way around. Always with strange complications. Okay.
Hey everybody, just a friendly reminder to turn on the microphone before you start recording, because otherwise you're voicing over a previous piece of video that has no